They're always mixing it up and bringing new ideas and new solutions to presenting Wintle events. And there we go, with these explanations of all the different disciplines have been recorded and put together for you. And it's the first time ever in a tunnel competition we've had this level and depth of explanation, Ray.
I know, it's great to see. It's great to have that explanation.
So we're going to go to the tunnel now and look at the action. We've got the first team lined up.
I know, one of my favourite teams, Vosvin girls, getting ready. We have three female teams in the female category, and this is a team from Voss. We've got a lot of support for these guys. They're actually being coached by Dennis Priat or Bambi from Hayabusa, and they've come a long way. I think this is they're now competing in the open, in the female category, not as juniors anymore. I think they've got new suits that they're flying today as well.
And how many teams have we got in the female category?
We have three teams in the female category. So we have the Vosvin girls about to get in now, and then we have the NFTO from the UK, and we have the French girls.
And what's the draw on this round?
It's K5-4. So they have a slot switcher on both the front and back piece here. So there's a K to the 5. Oh no, we had a little bit of confusion. We've gone one part of the piece has gone to straight onto the 4. Here we go.
First round nerves. First round nerves.
I know. They've because you have the slot switcher on basically rounds 1 to 4 each have a slot switcher, and they're not slot switchers where both pieces are slot switching. So it's going to be very unusual for the not so well trained, not so trained teams to see what's going on behind them. It's not going to be things that you've trained all the time. And when I talk about slot switches, I mean that sometimes with some of the blocks, so for example, we can see here, this is the end of the 4 to the K, that's the random, and they're out of time. But with these teams, I mean, if you have a slot switcher for just the front piece, it can make it, tricky because you're going to see different pictures on the back piece. So it's a close of their block 4. That's nice cogging action there.
So, as you said, they're being coached by world champion indoor and outdoor Dennis from Team Hayabusa. And when I got back to the hotel last night, they were training that first round. Ray, who have we got next?
We've got one of my favourite teams, NFTO, getting ready to get into the tunnel.
You used to be part of this team, didn't you?
I did, as part of this team. I still have an NFTO sticker on the top of my helmet.
Good.
And they're getting ready. These girls have been training really well. I think they've been have a mixture of coaching, but their main coach is Gary Smith. And I think they've been having a little bit of tunnel coaching from Roy Rolls, formerly of Wimby
and Hayabusa. NFTO, what does that mean?
Not for the ordinary. It was former sponsors that they had. It was a clothing brand, and that's a close of the box floor that we've got here to the K. They're going super fast.
They're looking fast, Ray.
That's good, yeah. Nice and clean as well.
We're going to be bringing you all the results on the webpage and on the Facebook page. You can check on them, Windor-realfly.com, and on the Facebook page of Windor too.
Yeah. They're flying really well. Looking at the bottom camera, not really the best for formation skydiving, and top camera is always good for this. There we go, back to the top camera so people can see what's going on. And there we go, back, close of the block 4. As I said, the guys only got the draw, guys and girls, they only got the draw this morning, so I think they're pretty much taking it round by round. They would have crept round by round and maybe walked a few rounds, but you can see that the type of draw that we've got is pretty much really suits the trained team. So next in, we have the French girls and Pamela. Shout out to Pamela, who's at home. I think they're flying with an alternate because our outside centre has got kidney stones. So she's hopefully on the road to recovery. I'm not sure, I'll find out later who their alternate actually is. But they seem to be doing a pretty good job. Super fast team. I mean, both NFTO and the French girls are training, obviously, for Australia later on this year in the outdoor events. So, tunnel competition, still super fast. They're flying with an alternate, and look how fast they're flying.
It's incredible speed. This is brilliant action. French girls have always been very, very strong. Always.
And the French teams in general have so many different teams that they can, pick up with alternates. They can call in an alternate of this caliber. So late into the competition is fantastic.
Yeah, the French Federation of Sports are very supportive of all sports. At the last event in France 10 days ago, we had the French Minister of Sport who came along to watch the tunnel action, and that's unheard of. We've never had that before.
I know, it's amazing. I mean, we're going to be seeing it in the open category, but there's a breadth of different French lineups. and they're all just joined hands, come together, as many as scratch teams, many as just teams that just want to go and have some fun. And it's great to see so many of them, and there are going to be some really strong battles between all of them throughout the competition.
So it's live action here for 14 hours today. We just had the female category. We're into the FS Open now, Ray. We're starting with Team 401, Los Puristos. Who are these guys?
Puristos. These guys are another French team. Here we go.
Sounds Spanish, doesn't it?
I know, but they are a French team made up of French four-way flyers. I'm looking forward to finding out a little bit more about these teams. You know, I don't know a lot of them. As I said, you know, we can see some similar symbols on the back of these, and they must be from various tunnels, various, you know, different parts of France. But I mean, I'm just going to try and do a quick check. Maybe we can come back to you later just to see how many French teams. I think we've got 9 French teams in the open category, but
I'll
I will
have a look at that
confirm
while
later.
I'll have a look at that while you carry on.
And the caliber that we can see, I mean, this is like, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what all these teams can do. But these guys are flying super, you know, really nice. It's the end of the 4 onto the K, and here we go with the 5. As I said, the 5 is a slot switcher for the front piece, and front and back piece. So it would be, it's not too bad as a round 1. I mean,
it's a slow draw, Ray.
Yeah, it's very slow. It's pretty slow, and it's slow in the sense that we do have a slot switcher of some description in every round, which means that the pictures that you would normally see, that you normally train the most of, you would not see. So I imagine, again, it's one of those draws. It's always going to suit a trained team, but you know, I don't see it affecting the really fast top teams out there too much. I mean, they would be used to seeing all the variety of pictures, but it could throw off some other teams. So next in we have Air Force One.
And we've got the big battle coming as well this morning. Just keep your eyes on this Europe versus America. Hayabusa against Arizona Airspeed. That are iconic team from America that's been going for so many years with many different lineups against the current indoor and outdoor world champions.
All right, it's going to be great to see. We have another French team. Sorry, I got that wrong. It wasn't Air Force One. It's B Air Force, consisting of 4 French flyers. So I don't know how I start, but it's like France 1, France 2. You could be going on for a while.
Yeah.
And these guys, again, look very competent. You know, you can tell they're well trained in the tunnel. Oh, here we go. There we go. Because we just, that's a slight hesitation now in the groups of Block 4, but I think they're out of time anyway. So that was B Air Force.
So this is a not quite interesting team name we've got coming up next, Ray. I'll leave that one to you.
Amnesia. So I think we have. Let me just check which.
Les Fours.
Les Fours Crétins. Did I say that out loud? I did say that. And it's another French team.
Here they go.
And they're in. So that's 3 we've counted so far, Regan. 3 French teams.
There's a lot, eh?
There are a lot. And it's amazing because, like, you know, we're watching them all, and they've all got, like, as I said, like similar jumpsuits from different tunnels, but they're all on different teams. And it's fantastic to see them all, like, mixing up and flying with each other. Just shows how much breadth they have in, like, you know, in French flying. It's amazing. Go close of block 4 to K and block 5. There we go. So far, you know, we're starting. I'm not entirely sure if this is done on a seeding, but so far, all the teams that we've seen that have come in have been pretty strong flyers. You know, so it's good to see. There we go. Slow mo of the end of block 4.
And there's not many tunnel competitions have this slow-mo facility as well. We're very lucky to have that at Wing Games.
So next in we have a Spanish team. Team Barak. We've seen them before. You know, these guys have been flying the tunnel for a while. We'd like to see what they can do. I think they train. I'm not entirely sure where they train. Maybe here, or maybe I'll find out again from them later. But we've been seeing them improve from competition to competition. And we go from the K, block 5. You see that's a slot switcher, but they're going, and the point steps out straight into the top of the 4. Oh, slight confusion. It's really difficult, you know, these some of the randoms, if people go through the draw, you look at some of these randoms. So if we go here from the end of the 4 to the K, it's not the easiest. If you don't control the energy at the close of the block, building that random, even though it's a random, can be pretty tough. So here we go, block 4 to the K. There you go. So see the difficulty the point has to basically sit still. And that was Team Barak from Spain.
Yeah, like I keep saying, 14 hours of action, but we've got a full lineup of presenters for you. It's not just me and Ray all day. Leslie Gale's going to be joining us in the studio at 10:30 with Ray, and then we switch it out, and then in the meantime, another French team, Ray.
The French team. I think that's team four French teams so far. We're counting as we go. These are the herbivores, Annecy Pamiers. See what they've got. Oh, a bit of a stretch. I think that would be a bust on that. Communication on this is really important. The fives, the 5 as a block, even though it's a slot switcher, is a fast block, as you can see there. But you know, if everybody's not on and off at the same time, it can be a pretty tricky block to execute because you have some vertical movement in there. There we go. So close of block 4, and the close of block 5. No, sorry, the start of block 4. Getting confused already. K, that'll be your random, and then the 5. It's pretty quick. I mean, these guys, I can't tell between all of the teams, and it's going to come down to busts here between all. That didn't look like a stationary grip, but I think that was out of time.
How many open teams have we got? I'm just trying to count them now.
We've got 24 open teams.
That's pretty big, isn't
I
it?
know, it's a big crowd. And as I said, you know, that's a 4th French team we've just seen, and now we have another Spanish team. And I think Papaya, this is a military team, I believe. They have Papaya Mixto and Papaya Open. They have 2 teams.
I think it's an Air Force team, if I try and remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And it's great to see. So this is, you know, a military-based team, and I think they trained down in Murcia.
Yeah, there's the first ever tunnel in Spain was the Murcia tunnel, the military tunnel there, which I've never been to. A few of my colleagues from Imperial Brava, Scatter and Imperial Brava behind have been to in the past. Yeah, it's one I never visited.
So I've not seen this team fly before, but they're doing a very good job. Nice and calm. And you know, you can see there that block 5 that, you know, the what's really important, and if we go and we see it from this team now, at the top, that's okay, to the top of the block, you can see that what you really want is that front piece that's going over, really needs to make sure that they have the levels right, because otherwise it's very tricky to make that vertical actually happen. There we go, end of time. Team Papaya Mixto from Spain.
Good to see them back in the house. And this...
I think we've got another French team coming in.
Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, we have.
Team number 5, Team Odin Parachute System. Really excited about seeing what these guys can do. I mean, it's really hard. It's so many French teams. Team number 5, as I said, and I think as the draw progresses and as the rounds progress, we're going to see them fighting it out. And I like their helmets, though.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I do like those helmets. And they're getting ready in the door. See if they're any faster. Go. That's the close of the 5. To the 4. Okay. Close of the 5. Into the 4. Very quick, very quick. These guys are the fastest French team I've seen so far. You can really tell they've done some training. And that very much that French style of flying. You know, very, very quick to move, have a lot of energy in their flying, but can also control it very well. You can see that coming through here. That point is whipping around for those 4s. Fantastic. Really nice round from Team Odin Parachute System.
Systems, yeah.
It's great. It's a really good round, and I think they gave themselves a clap, and I think the gallery gave them a bit of a clap as well.
Yeah, they
Look
got all
at
the
that.
love in it. This next team I was watching, when we finished the broadcast last night, there was a lot of four-way then doing their training and their flying, and this IFS from Moscow were in the tunnel. A big group of lads, big strong lads, and they were flying well.
These guys, you never know what the Russians will put in there, but there are some guys in there that have been flying in four-way for some time, and these guys are going to be good. I'm hoping, you never know what they're going to bring. Big guys. Some confusion there, I think. If we can look at the top cam, it's hard to tell. Here we go. There's a 4, close of the 4. Nice.
And obviously, the bigger the person, the less room you've got, Ray, when there's 4 of you.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's from the last IPC. I think we had some change of blocks. So in 2019 is going to bring in a new set of blocks. So get some molar, and some sort of vert. So blocks 1 and 13 are changing. And this is probably down to the fact of size and limitation of tunnel, it's hard to fly those in IPC events in the tunnel because of the 14-foot tunnels we're dealing with. So it makes sense to see that these teams are, have some new blocks. It's good to shake it up every now and again. But yeah, you don't see that many big teams.
I mean, I remember Mola from back in the 90s.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it a good block to fly?
It is actually. It's like a bit of a funny shaped O because you've got the two at the front facing the same direction.
That's great. Maybe you can give us your pointers later.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to want to fly it. So next in, team from the UK, Pajama Pumas.
Who's these guys?
Good to see a UK team.
Recognise the names.
So I've flown with a few of these guys on various events. So we've got Kate Lindsay here with formerly Volition, I'm not sure they're flying this event. So Kate's brought some people that she's coaching. She coached Matt Cumming and a few others in various teams, and I think one of their teammates couldn't make it, so she stepped into the fray. And it's good to see UK flyers coming to competitions like this. Because we do have a good calibre of flying in the UK in the FS, and we tend to think, we can't really compete at this level, at a world stage like this. But I'm really pleased to see these guys here, and they're flying pretty well so far. Some confusion there on the back. Kate's flying the tail slot, so she's probably the inside centre slot. So she's probably enjoying that somewhat. I think she's flying, actually, I'm not sure because it's a slot switcher. But no, they're enjoying that. I mean, I think they're not trained. They're pretty much a semi-scratch team. Pajama Pumas have been together for some time, but obviously they've got Kate on the team as well.
If you just joined us on the live stream, a very good morning to you. It's the live action here at the Wing Games 2018. Ray Ahmed's here giving us the expert analysis of the four-way open category, and this is what we're with right now, Team 410.
And so next in we have Team Papaya from Spain, the other team that trained in Murcia. The Air Force, I think.
I think so, yeah.
And these guys have been coming along a long way as well, and it's great to see their flying's improving every competition that I see them do. Just a bit of confusion there on the K. It's very difficult. See, they're end of block 5 into the 4. As you can see, when you close block 4, you should want to try and control it with as least amount of energy as possible, so you can move straight into that random K, which is actually quite difficult to build. Here we go. There's a K to the 5, into the 4. A pretty fast round from what I can see, so it'll be interesting to see what the top teams can actually put out there. Here we go. Another not so small team, so difficulties the 4 had to go. The point flyer on the 4 generally with the larger teams, because it's such a big block, the point flyer will sometimes go under. So that was Team Papaya. Next in, I think we've probably got team number 6 from France. Maybe Team Wimby? Or
Wimby Legion.
There we go.
The team from Wimby that have been biting at the heels of Hayabusa and No More, eh?
Yeah, no, they aren't, but we get into that later. But I think this is actually half Italian, half French. So Olivier and Luca, I think we've got a couple of Italians. Yeah, we can see that here. And it's good. So I imagine we're going to see some good things here. And they're in. Yeah, as you said, the original Wimby lineup. I understand that Mathieu and Guillaume have family commitments and other things that they want to do and explore. So I believe that our team is no longer.
It's hard to stay at that level of competition, to be a world-class team without full sponsorship and trying to do it, especially as raising a family as well. I mean, big respect for them for keeping it going as long as they did.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good to see that they did, and I'm sure that looking at the calibre of the other French teams that we have and coming in that we've just seen, that we're watching right now, that there's that we're looking forward to having more competition from the Wimby tunnel that we can see going forward as well. So that was Wimby Legion from France and Italy.
Yeah, they've got the French Nationals there next month, I think on the 23rd of March, I think it is.
Excellent, that should be fun.
Next up, Airheads. Where are these guys from?
I think they're Belgian.
Swiss.
Sorry, forgive me.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry.
Swiss. Can't hear us, can he?
No.
Not there.
Can.
Not in that chain. Not in that part of the tunnel. Sure they can. I think it was just a coincidence.
Exactly.
That was.
No, I'd like to think they can hear us. Yeah, Real Fly. They're a Real Fly Sion team. You can tell from the red suits are back in fashion. It appears. which was good.
Yeah, they were always out for a long time in competition because of the old cameras. The colour red would bleed through the image, and it would be hard to actually see it as well. But now with the quality cameras, we can use them again.
Yeah, exactly. I think many years ago we had the Britchicks, and Leslie might want to mention that. I think in the tunnel in Bedford, camera quality meant there was a lot of bleeding going on, and you couldn't really see very much. But you can see, for those at home, top cam, you can see pretty much everything that's going on. So let's see if red does come back into fashion. I'm not big of it. I think red's an angry colour for me, so it doesn't really work for me.
Anger.
And that's the Airheads from Switzerland.
It's just coming up on 9 o'clock in the morning here, and we're already well into the action. We're all here before the sun came up this morning. It was still dark and cold outside, but hot and sunny inside, and that's how we like it. It's Win Games 2018 with me, Regan Tetlow, and Ray Ahmed.
And next in we have the team from Sweden, Echo Chamber. These are one of my favourite teams. I saw them in Montreal. It's really their flying skills are improving. The Swedish contingent from the last Indoor World Meet was fantastic, and these guys fly really well, so super exciting to see what they're going to put on. They got here really early a few days ago, and we're doing some training. Super fast, close of the 4 to the so close of 4 to the K to the 5. It's definitely very, very quick. Some of the fastest flying I've seen so far. Nice.
Even the camera can't keep up.
It's amazing. It's fantastic. They're like, they've drilled this in for this is an amazing round. I mean, you can see slightly different techniques on the 4. If we take it now, there you go. You know, it's a little bit wide between the 3 pieces. Some of them like to have the outside centre and inside centre a little bit closer together, but that can create energy and momentum in the close of the block. So, you know, you can see from these guys that are flying it the way they do, it's pretty good.
Sweden is back on the scene.
They are indeed.
Now these young ones, wow.
Oh no, another French team. So Monaco Aerocart Junior, and this is the 7th French team, if you want to include that hybrid of Italy and France from Wimby Legion. And here we go.
We've been watching this team for a little while, and they're just getting stronger and stronger.
They are indeed. Here we go. It's good. Nice small team, compact. You can see that point flyer on the top of the 4 doesn't necessarily need to have to go under.
Future world champions in your sights right here, Ray?
I think so. If they want to continue a bit of confusion there to what they're building, there's a random K there. I think, you know, we keep talking about the breadth of the French squad, but I think if they continue and they still have a hunger and a passion for it, and they want to, you know, they of course, why not? You know?
In 10 years, they'll be younger than the current world champions.
Yeah, that's great to see.
So there's, you know, the potential is absolutely massive.
It is, but you know, we see this a lot of the time. You know, the potential is huge, but it's trying to keep them, you know, the children at the end of the day is trying to keep them invested, invigorated, wanting to compete.
When you get kids who are, you know, riding horses or swimming, it's to keep them beyond the teenage years of keep that interest going.
Exactly.
And if the parents can keep paying for it.
Exactly.
It's not cheap, right?
I know. I've been committing a lot of time to indoor flying recently. It's not cheap at all.
Yeah. Monaco.
So here we have the Monaco, the non-kids team. Maybe there's some parents in here. We might find out later. And yeah, these guys have been. They've added a few, like, you know, it's got some young blood in the lineup now. So they're taking it all seriously again. They used to fly the red jumpsuits with a little bit of white, and now they've obviously deemed that red is not very cool, or not as cool, fully red suits, so they've got red and black. And they're flying well. You know, I remember talking and watching Monaco a few years back. They just put a team together, and you think, oh, you know, it's just the old boys, the old French teams flying for Monaco. But no,
because they were big champions. We had an 8-way team, didn't we, in the Dubai 4, I think it was, the Dubai Championships number 4, where they came back strong. Monaco. We were a lot of ex-French champions.
Yeah.
And
now look, you know, you got grandkids and whatever else competing in the tunnel now. So yeah, and it's great to see them still flying. You know, it's like, you think about it. I mean, I think, how long have we been flying? I've been flying for about 13, 14 years. I'm just a baby, really, in years terms. But you know, you're watching some of these guys have been doing it for a long time, and tunnels are new for them as well to a certain extent. You know, but they're still here, they're still bringing it, and it's great to see.
It's interesting having the ages of these competitors as well. I never realised Jeff was older than me, so I'll be talking to him about that later.
There you go.
Jetmax Team 416, Ray.
Yes, the Belgian team. Looking forward to seeing what they put on there. Said hello to them briefly this morning. And I'm looking forward to seeing good things from them. There we go, and they're in. So some of the entrances that we're going to see, I mean, we've not got, we've got some random entrances through the rounds as well. So we're going to see some interesting stuff, I think, and hopefully we'll see a variety of engineering from some of the teams. I'm just processing the draw myself, so I'll be giving you more information on that as the day progresses, just to see if we have any variety of engineering. And here we go. It's the top of the 4, close of the 4. A little bit hesitant, Team Jetmax. Yeah, so getting the start of that 4, they're definitely putting it in like a, it's not as smooth as, for example, as we saw. So they're moving into the block here. It's not as smooth as we saw from Echo Chamber, the Swedish team. And they're out of time.
8 more teams to come in this first round of the Open Championships, Ray.
We do. So many teams, 24. It's amazing.
It's a big turnout.
And next in the tunnel, we should have the team from the UK, new lineup, Satori XL. Or XL as they're called now, sorry. And so Pete and John and AD, who's flying the Satori before, and Pete Mathers joined the team.
XL, what a great name of formation skydiving, a 4-way from the UK, going back over 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, these guys have just literally got together as a team, just, I think, setting out their training plans, and they're using this as a training competition, just flying, figuring things out, not going for, a massive amount of points. They're just learning to fly together. They're like, in that forming, storming stage, I think, to a certain extent. But, so much experience on this across all, not just Pete and John. From Pete's been flying for a while, and Taff, Pete Mather, and AD's been on various teams of very high quality for a long time. So I'm really excited about this lineup.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential now. It's been a while since we've had a really strong top 3 in the world British team, and is it time now we can start getting there again?
I hope so. I hope so. It's good to see Team XL.
Next up, we've got another of our French teams now from Wimby, and then we've got the Tenin, and then Anicia, Real Fly Sion, Qatar Tigers are back in town, Arizona Airspeed, and Hayabusa. Here we go, France.
Watch these guys, Gavroche, Wimby. I really like these guys because they make me smile. You see Julien there, Megan. So these guys are literally a scratch team.
Yeah.
But they are a scratch team of some amazing flyers. They're former 8-way flyers, former 4-way flyers. So I'm expecting them to do very well. Let's see what they've got.
Here we go.
They're in the door. Nice. Oh, obviously, they're bringing these. They're a scratch team, the French scratch team. They have a specific way of flying, but some people fly blocks slightly differently in different positions, and you can see that there's just a little bit of confusion on closing of some blocks. We have some, you can't see it from the top camera, but there's probably some level issues on the closes of blocks. Makes it hard. So here we go, closing the 4, there we go. And now they're getting into a rhythm of what they actually want to do. Super fast flying from the point, trying to ensure that the point flyer isn't going too far around the tunnel, as we have seen from some other teams. There we go. Another French team. I think we're up to 7 or 8, 9. We're up to 9 French teams now, if you include the Monaco teams, I guess. So that was Gavroche, Wimby. So next in we should have Team Tenanin from Mauritania and Italy and France. So maybe that's 10 French teams.
Yeah, this team's been around for over 4 years now, from its official initial inception with
Moulet.
Yeah.
Moulet, who's a Mauritanian on this team, and he wanted to fly 4-way, and he found some good player coaches to fly with him in Martial and Marco. And now I was watching them training the other day, and they've even got David from Hayabusa as an overseeing coach, just because it gave Martial and Marco the time to concentrate on their own flying and also learn a few techniques as well. So it's great to see some of the guys that are very experienced and been around for a long time. Learning a few techniques and a few things on like where they can save on efficiency, or where they can be, where they can make up a little bit of time in between blocks. And these guys are going very strong. Good communication between Marco and Martial. You can see there from that camera angle that viewers must have just seen at home that the 4 does, as a 3-piece, the 4 tends to lift a little bit. So it's important that point flyer, as they come back round, they meet for the close.
Good, great to see this team back in action now. Real Fly Sion, very strong in the dynamic flying. We've been seeing them in competitions for the last few events, for the last couple of years. Here we are now with 4-way from them.
Yeah, so I think we've got, this is Amnesia.
Oh, Amnesia, yeah, they're going to be from the Italian team.
Yes.
Now this is a new lineup as well, which is hoping to go forward.
These guys have been, I've seen them in a few competitions recently, and they've been, I think I saw them in Montreal. They've been coached by David as well from Hayabusa, and I think they're a really good team. They're training really, really hard, and their flying is fantastic. I think sometimes they just have some mentally, just that entire, if you have a bad round, their head goes down a little bit. So I'm expecting them. I keep expecting amazing things from them, and I see it every time. And I think they're just going to get faster and faster.
It's good to see Mario Fatoruso from the swim freestyle canopy piloting team. He's here on doing it back in the 4-way. I didn't realise it was a 4-way jumper.
Fantastic. That's the things you find out.
Yeah.
They close the 4 very quickly onto the round in the K. Close. There we go. It's really super efficient flying. You can see little bits of Hayabusa flying in this team.
Nice.
Nice round from them. They'll be pleased with that. Good start to round 1.
Grande Italianos. Good stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4 more teams from this round 1 to go, Ray.
Yes. So now we have Real Fly Sion. So this is the French outdoor team flying indoor, and briefly saw them this morning at the draw. So Lens.
This is going to be good.
This is good, yeah. Former world champion with female. It's great to see her flying with these guys. And they're in. Nice. They've got new helmets.
Yeah, they have. Look at the precision on the ends.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Close the block. There we go. You can see that, I was talking about it earlier in the earlier rounds. The point flyer on the front is really making sure from the end of the 4, stationary, stops, there you go, and then they're off. So it makes it the flow into the next point from the 5 to the 4 really, really nice and easy for the team. They don't look potentially as fast as some of the other teams we have, but they're very efficient with their flying, and I'm expecting good stuff. It's getting faster and faster now. Fantastic to see. It's amazing, and a round of applause from the crowd outside.
An appreciative crowd here who know good flying when they see it. We've got 3 more teams to go. Qatar Tigers back here in Spain. We've not seen them for a little while, not since Bahrain, what they're going to be like. Then we've got Arizona Airspeed from the United States, our iconic team of many, many years, and then the world champions, indoor and outdoor, Hayabusa, Ray Ahmed.
I am super excited about seeing Qatar. They're such an amazing group of flyers. And it's great to see them back, being able to compete where they really, can put a marker down. I'm sure they've been doing a lot of training. Here we go, straight in. And they're small flyers, they look super efficient as they fly. I'm hoping that the competition nerves don't get to them, and these guys are super, super fast.
Yeah, they've been in the top 5 for quite a few years now.
They have, and it's good to see. They train hard, they work really hard, and these guys have always got a smile on their face. They've always got a welcome, and I like that. And they've been restricted, being, obviously with a lot of geopolitics going on across the world. They've been restricted in where and where they can't compete, and that's obviously affected them because they need competition to get faster, to be the best. They need to compete against the best, and so it's good to see them here.
And they all started from scratch, all started as non-skydivers, straight into AFF and competition. Incredible, really.
Yeah. It's pretty good from them. I mean, obviously we just saw the Real Fly Sion team just before, and they look super fast as well, so there's not much in it really, to be honest.
So now the spotlight turns to the United States of America. This team from outdoor and indoor, we've not seen them head to head with the world champions for quite a while. They've been training hard in secret behind closed doors, but they're here now, Ray. What have they got to bring us?
They have. I'm super excited about seeing. I spent a lot of time yesterday talking to Nicholas about dynamic flying, so not really about what they've been training. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got.
Here we go. Arizona airspeed.
I mean, they really were the secret slow burners in Montreal.
Yeah.
People weren't really watching because they were focusing on the Wimby Hayabusa battle, and they had some really strong rounds. So it's all that secret squirrel training, but they're probably not very secret. But not much attention to it. But they're going super fast. I love the way from the end of the 5 straight into the 4, and the tail is just moving as they go. That's Mikhail. Very fluid.
Yeah, I was having breakfast with Dennis and Bob from Hayabusa, and they were saying, yeah, we're not resting on our laurels. We're going to keep an eye on them. It's all to play for. It's all to play for here at this championships.
No, it's good. It's good. They've been there. They've seen it. I mean, I've seen so many competitions. But that was a fantastic round from airspeed.
There you go. Big round of applause as well from the audience. One more team to go here in the first round of formation skydiving at Win Games 2018. Current indoor and outdoor world champions are lined up and ready to go.
No, they're ready. It's great to see. I always get slightly nervous when I watch these guys fly.
Undefeated as well indoor for, I think, 16 competitions now.
I believe so. I think Dennis sent me a brief message of how many competitions he's undisputed champion of. I'll look it up later as the competition progresses. They're off to a good start. So efficient on that block 5 and 4. Yeah, definitely. You can see it. There's when they do this block 5 that they've got going now. It's like it definitely seems like they're taking their time, but it just looks so efficient. Amazing. Block 4. Go start, close the block 4 to the K. It just looks like they're not moving. There's no, there's no inertia in the close of the block from the 4, no energy in the close of it, and straight onto the random. This is a well-trained team, obviously. Fantastic, and a big round of applause from the studio and gallery area.
So this is Win Games 2018. The first round of formation skydiving is through and out the door. Right now all the footage is with the judges, and they're going to be looking at what they've seen and making sure that we've got the right points in the right places. We'll be getting those scores to you as soon as we have them. Coming up next, we've got round 2 of the VFS and the formation skydiving 2. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back here in the studio in about 1 minute's time.